When Shawna says get up, you get up. NERDSoul. Lay Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people, today? All year coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right on Screen. Now, we have episode 2 coming to us. We got a whole bunch of drama and controversy going on around this show. But we're going to stick to the show for right now. We'll get to the controversy later after the jump. But we going down to them swamps. That's right, out there in Mariah, where it's dark, funky, stanky, mud, nasty algae and stuff. And you know what that is? We're talking about Swamp Thing. And this episode had a lot of important conversations. I'm going to get to about 3 of the important conversations before the break, and then after we're going to talk about some extra stuff and some controversy. But the first one that really struck me as like, come on, bruh, is of course the doctor and Susie. See, honestly, Dr. Edwards didn't really have like this long, drawn out conversation with Susie, but she did let him know what was going on. She was like, you know, there's this man in the dark. He needs me. He's hurting and I can help him out and stuff. And he's like, oh, this is a dream. Look, bruh, I know we need that person in horror movies. But look, Whitney Houston told us, the children are our future. Teach them well, let them lead the way. Can you let her lead the way to truth? She said there's a man in the dark, all right? See, the swamp is dark. She said he needed her help. She got to go help him. Why you ain't believe? You know, and don't get me wrong. If I was a doctor, I'd probably be like, yo, this sounds weird, but at least give her a shot. You know what I'm saying? Hear her out. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody be listening to the youth, man. You know what I'm saying? And a child shall lead them. All I'm saying is just, you know, kick the truth to the youth, but then listen to the youth. You know what I'm saying? See what, because she's dropping mad knowledge on him and he's just like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Go on back to sleep. Look, Dr. Edwards, all right, man, look, hey, bring it in, all right? Listen to some people. Another conversation I thought was pretty important was Liz and Abby, just talking about, you know, kind of what they had went through, or I guess what Abby had went through, because, you know, in this episode, homegirl just, we start right back from it's not like there's a time jump or nothing. It's like, yo, this tomorrow or that same night. And showing, I think this conversation does a good job of just showing the friendship kind of being repaired. Because, you know, when you leave, I mean, friends are still friends, but, you know, when you get back together, you get those conversations to kind of build and get close to each other and all that good stuff. And I think Liz dropped some dimes on her. You know what I'm saying? Liz was like, yo, look, hey, you know, this is what's going on. This is how it is in these streets. Things have changed since you've been gone. Some stuff is the same, but, you know, I like that feeling that there's still that connection where they're going to be straight up with each other. And you don't see any like backhandedness between those two. So I'm digging Liz now. Because at first I was like, I don't know. Is she just going to be like the journalist joint? But now I'm like, oh, okay, she's going to be a nice, decent, like, you know, a rock for Abby to, you know, lean on whenever things go on. And I mean, of course, usually you always need that character. But I didn't know if they were going to play Liz like that. So I like that Abby has someone that she can go to, because it makes a lot of sense for her character to need someone right now. Especially, you know, she's staying there, you know, opening her doors to her. So, you know, she's got that kind of closeness, that embrace, that, you know, emotional support that she's going to need. And, you know, I thought that was pretty important. Now, really quick, for my people that watch Daredevil or used to watch Daredevil, because it's, you know, it's over now. But when Liz was like, yo, man, going over there, going to talk to Avery and all that stuff, it's suicide, it's crazy, you shouldn't do that, you know, they ain't gonna let you do nothing, all these people hate you, right? And she was like, it'll be fine, it'll work out. In that moment, let me know if you're feeling me. In that moment, I was like, Abby equals Karen Page from Daredevil. Yeah. And yes, I know she's the lead on the show, so things are just going to work out for her. But I'm like, she was just like, I don't care. I'm just going to make it happen. Now, of course, I'm dramatizing just a little bit, but in that moment, I was just like, oh, so you ain't gonna listen to no reason, huh? So you just gonna do what you gonna do, and you ain't gonna pay no attention to your best friend, or at least one of your best friends. I don't know. I mean, I guess you can't have more than one best friend. But point is, you ain't gonna listen to somebody who's giving you wise counsel. I had to don't look, Abby, don't make me put you in the carrot bucket. Now, the last conversation before the jump is the conversation bedside with Avery and Maria, learning more about Shawna. We don't know exactly what happened, but we know something around the swamp. And we also know that in being something around the swamp, we also know that Shawna was a lot younger. See, I thought Shawna passed when she was maybe, I don't know, maybe like 19, 18, 19, something like that. Or, like just before Abby left, maybe a little older, maybe like 17 or something like that. But from the, flashbacks we're getting, seems like she passed away or she died around, I don't know, 10, 12, maybe 8. I don't know. She looks like little, all right? And like, you're doing horror stuff. I don't know how tall she really is. So I'm going to say she died at like 11. I'm going to split the difference between 10 and 12. So all I know is that she passed long ago. And I think she said 8 years. So for them saying she's been gone 8 years or something, and then this whole, she's looking young, maybe I missed something, but I'm like, yo, isn't she really, 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 really little? But with that said, we see how Shawna has kind of driven them apart and how she's still driving them apart, at least her memory is. And the honest guilt and problems and struggle through grief that they're dealing with and how they're choosing to handle it on both sides. And it really is tearing their marriage up. Now, of course, I'm pretty sure Avery is our bad guy. He's the one dumping stuff and doing whatever in the swamp. But I gotta say, it's tough to see this married couple that was probably happy before their child passed, to see them struggling like this. And I think it adds a decent layer to the show. Now, we got some stuff to get to after the break. But first, KURO Brand's gonna help us pay them bills. Oh yeah, check that link below, hat shirts, hoodies, all that jazz. And once you find something you like, of course, cop it. Let's talk about Madam Xanadu. That's right. I saw her first episode and I was real interested to see what exactly we're going to get from her. Like how she's going to be played out, how she's going to be portrayed. And, because there's always different iterations and you have an adaptation, you don't know which direction they're going to go. This direction, you see, I love even the small things on her eyes, around her eyes and stuff like that. And I like how she is she seems to be a very neutral and, someone who can console you. Someone who can take you in and kind of be like, look, relax, settle down, we'll work this out together, whatever your problem may be. And when she sat Maria down, and they looked into the mind and felt the mind pressures and took away the spirits and the ideas of the daughter or whatever. Whatever she saw was crazy. And the thing I love about this scene is that scream that came out of, I can't think of the actress's name right now, but I was like, yo, she is acting right now. That scream, that thing kind of got me in my bones. Plus, I had my TV up because this is another thing about this show. The volume, when they be talking, be like, hey guys, how's it going? How are we gonna do things in Swamp Thing? And then when things get scared, it'd be like, boo boo. So look, it scared me because it was way too loud screaming. You can't scream loud when I got my TV on loud. You gotta scream, you gotta put it comparable to the volume of the rest of the show. But anyway, with that said, the conversation they have before and after continues to reiterate, you need to let the spirit of Shawna go. And I'm wondering if kind of as a anchor or a totem, Shawna's spirit that could be twisted now is using her mother to stay attached to the earthly realm. Now, I don't know, this is just me taking a guess. I don't know, because you never know where they're going to go. But it does seem that Madame Xanadu is going hardcore on let her go. Now, let's slide the conversations out the way. We got 2 new additions to the show. We got a crossover with The Strain and Beverly Hills 90210. That's right, we got your boy Ian Ziering, and we got Vasily Fett. That's right, I ain't gonna say Kevin. His name is Vasily Fett. That's right, from The Strain. It's nice to have them both on the show. I thought it was cool. I was like, hey, it's nice to see, look him on the show. Oh, looking at Daniel Cassidy. And then I was like, oh snap, your boy, hey, Vasily Fett, he done got married and he's dealing with plants now. You know what I'm saying? He was killing rats, now he's killing plants. Well, he was killing rats, now he's helping plants. But the point is, it was nice to see these new additions. And it looks like they're going to be decent mainstays in the show, but they didn't seem like out of place. They seem like they kind of already belong there. And I like the way as character actors, they just jumped in and they seemed like they belonged. It didn't seem like, hey man, this guy doesn't fit the tone of this stuff. They did a good job of bringing together some folks that really seemed like they belonged in this setting. So before we get out of here, let's talk about how this show delivers. This show did a good job because Chauncey and I were talking about, you know, a lot of stuff in the first episode was like plot was happening, but the characters weren't doing things. You know what I'm saying? This episode, they were like, all right, we got the first episode where the plot kind of happened. Now we're going to give you a lot of character growth in this episode through conversation. But we going to pay y'all off. And the scene with the game warden, and I knew it when we saw the game warden go out there, I was like, game warden go. Big shout out to Stephen Lemieux. See, the game warden, he was 2 months away from retirement, had 5 kids, you know what I'm saying? His wife had passed of cancer 10 years ago. And you know, his kids, he raised them almost on his own. And he was trying hard to just make a living wage, you know, to support his family. And the second he got out there, I saw them pulling that stuff out that boat. I said, that game warden dead. Now, of course, Susie been stowing away up in the joint, but I was like, man, he dead now. He didn't die how I thought he would, because I thought they was going to like maybe tie him up and bury him alive or something. I don't know. Yo, they was like, cacao. Yo, stabbed him in the neck, mouth, cheek area or something. I was like, oh snap. Like that joint came out of nowhere. I love how this show surprises you, from Shawna to the dude getting hit in the neck. And then also your boy Swamp Thing. That's right. This show delivered not only in the game warden, but when Swamp Thing comes through, and this is just a small bit of his power. And we get to see some of the range. He gets stabbed twice. We see that does hurt him. He does feel that, you know, it did slow him down a little bit. But we saw him boss up. And that scene of him grabbing him, tossing him, then picking him up with the vines and literally like splitting him into 8 pieces or something, that was wonderful and awesome. And this show knows what we need to see. Like, it gave us our vegetables. You know what I'm saying? Gave us a whole bunch of, you know, broccoli and kale or something with all our conversations. Like, look, you're going to need, you know, you're going to need your sustenance. But then it was like, all right, here's a bowl of ice cream for you. You know what I'm saying? It hooked us up right at the end. And I love seeing Swamp Thing, see Susie, him protecting Susie, him meeting Susie sort of eye to eye, if you will, at the end. And also Abby coming up, and Swamp Thing, the way he reacted, almost like he stopped in his tracks when he saw her. This is gonna be nice. Now, of course, let's get to the controversy. It's apparently gonna be nice for only 8 more episodes, because the show is already canceled. Now, I talked about this on the episode that I put out yesterday, talking about, you know, Swamp Thing, Google Stadia, and talking about Ghostbusters 3. So I talked about that yesterday, but now we have new reports of North Carolina being like, it won't us, we ain't mess up no taxes, and DC like, yo, look, it won't us either, it ain't about taxes, but we can't talk about why. So we ain't never gonna know why, who knows, I ain't gonna try to speculate no more. I'm just sad that unfortunately this show that looks like it's starting to pick up steam, only in episode 2, is already done for. Or this could be a whole media hoopla. So around episode 8, they could be like, we changed our minds. We're coming back and we're gonna save the show. And everybody's like, yeah, woo. I don't know. That's like my crowd. That's like my Super Bowl crowd. That's how they be sounding. But who knows? We don't know how it's gonna play out. But guys, holla at me. I'm gonna holla at you. Down in them comments, let's talk Swamp Thing. I'm really loving this, man. And it's a shame it had to go down, how it had to go down. But you know, all good things must come to an end. So with that said, let me check y'all out at ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right. Check me out right there. All my videos on the oldest, newest, latest, greatest, and all that. Then hit up shop.ThatNERDSoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt, player. Don't forget to get one for them playettes. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that NERDSoul. That's right. There's no better way that I can show people that you are like what you are watching. So, like, what up, DA? What up, RVA? You got my heart. And please be good to yourselves. Please be good to each other. And remember, whenever you talk to someone who makes a no seem like a favor, they're probably your bad guy. Peace.